So now we're about to talk about the 5 neighborhoods that we believe that you should know about in the Prince William County area.
First up, we have Lake Ridge, which is probably the most popular, most prominent subdivision within Woodbridge. Lake Ridge had 361 transactions last year with an average closed sales price of $446,000. Now, one thing I want to say when I reference that number is Lake Ridge is a mix of condos, townhouses, and single-family homes, so that's why you end up with that number. But you can still find single-family homes in that $500,000 to $600,000 price range.
The cool thing about Lake Ridge is that it's at the northern part of Prince William County, eastern side, right? So this is the Woodbridge area, and you're going to be able to access your main job hubs from 95 right here. So a lot of people like to live in Lake Ridge just because you have such quick access to 95. 70% of the individuals who live in Prince William County are commuting outside of Prince William County for work. So commuting is just as important as the location itself, right?
It is absolutely beautiful location. You're going to see it is just south of the Occoquan River, and so because of that, you're going to have like some waterfront homes. Also, there's a lot of green space in the area. So the full name of the Lake Ridge Association is actually the Lake Ridge Parks and Recreation Association, because in this area they take their outdoor recreational time very seriously. So there are miles and miles of trails, wooded areas. You're also going to have a golf course, as you can see there on the map.
Yes.
The Lake Ridge Golf and Marina. It's also a really family-oriented neighborhood. You're going to find lots of walkable sidewalks. I point that out because throughout Northern Virginia, every area does not have sidewalks. That is a running joke between Abraham and myself. But in addition to that, they also have a number of playgrounds, swimming pools. It's just a really large area, and it's over 1,200 acres of grounds within the association.
Now with Lake Ridge, you're going to be able to get to Fort Belvoir, which is going to be this one inch right on the map, and 13 miles to the Pentagon, which is going to be up here by this green space here, and 22 miles. Quantico, which is going to be to the south of Lake Ridge, and 18 miles, and then Tyson's Corner and 26 miles. If you're looking for a location in Prince William County that has quick access to 95, which then opens you up to a lot of the other parts of the interstate system, right? So 395, 495, stuff like that. Then I think Lake Ridge is a great community for you.
Now, this is a single family that came on the market at $410,000. It's one thing to point out, the homes in Lake Ridge are going to be a little bit older than some of the other places we're going to take a look at. So this community has been around for like 50 years. Now, there really hasn't been much construction since the 90s, so it is going to be a little bit older community. And sometimes with single families, and this is a smaller one, but they do have larger single families in the community as well. I wanted to show you guys what's actually available at the moment. And because we're still in that winter market, there are not a lot of properties on the market, but this is a smaller single family. You cannot find a single family, at least not this size, probably not within Fairfax County. You may be able to find something like a one level, but you won't find anything as large as this in this price point.
Exactly. Lake Ridge in Prince William County offers you single family living for under $500,000. You're not going to be able to find that in Fairfax County, and it's just almost impossible in Arlington itself.
Now, the schools in this particular neighborhood are going to be kind of like middle of the road when it comes to ratings. People in the community actually laud the schools as being pretty good, and they are happy with the school system. It's listed as one of the things that people who live in Lake Ridge actually like about the area.
One more thing I want to show you on the map, as far as like the eastern part of Lake Ridge is super close to a HOV on-ramp. The HOV on-ramp allows you to get into the commuter lane, which I find very convenient.
Also, while you have that up, you can also see just down to the bottom of the map there, you see you're close to Potomac Mills, which is a very large shopping area. So Potomac Mills is going to be an outlet, and just outside of that, there's the IKEA right there in that same area. And you can also see a couple of different supermarkets within that Lake Ridge area. There's a Safeway, Giant. You're not very far from Wegmans, which the cursor's over now. And as I said before, Lake Ridge has lots of recreational opportunities within the community, including a boat ramp, in case I didn't mention that before. I know you guys see all that water. So this is one of 2 locations we're going to talk about today that have immediate access to water. Make sure you check out the link down below in the description for the Perfect Home Questionnaire. You just fill that form out, and one of us will reach out to schedule your home consultation, which will be a virtual meeting with either myself or Abraham, where we'll answer all your questions and hopefully get you set for your move. So next up on our list, we're going to Haymarket this time, and we are going to have Dominion Valley. It had the second most transactions on our list. They had 253 transactions. Now, the average sales price here is just over $800,000, but I wanted to share the low and high with you guys just to get an idea of what's available in this community. So the low was actually $472,000, and the high was $2.2 million. Now, you're thinking $2.2 million, that's quite a difference. Well, Dominion Valley Valley is a gated community. It's one of 2 gated communities we're going to talk about here, and it's accommodated the Dominion Valley Country Club. And so this is a very large area. The land that it takes up is massive. And actually, funny story, we were talking about this recently. This association is actually built on the land that was going to be the Disney World.
Yes, that's true.
So you have the Dominion Valley Country Club. While you take a look there are actually 2 different golf courses within this community. And one of the reasons why is because within the gated community of Dominion Valley, there's actually a senior living facility called the Regency. It's pretty big. It offers 1-level and multi-level living. It has its own country club or golf course in addition to the Arnold Palmer Golf Club that is in there. And so this is actually a great neighborhood for all ages. It has the absolute top rated schools in Prince William County, and it has senior living. So really from cradle to
grave.
Yeah. They have you covered in Dominion Valley. And so the community is made of townhomes. There are only a few townhomes, I want to point that out, but largely it's made of single families and semi-detached homes. And so just for reference, you're going to be about 33 miles from Quantico when you're at Dominion Valley, 29 miles from Tysons. And then I also included Loudoun for this area because you're really closer to Loudoun than you are to any of the other employment hubs. So when you're in Haymarket, Dominion Valley, you're going to be 24 miles from Loudoun, which is, significantly closer than you're going to be to like Fort Belvoir or the Pentagon, because those are both 37 miles away.
Now, I will say people who live in Dominion Valley like Dominion Valley because it is a gated community and because it has a golf course, right? And so it's a Owner Palmer golf course.
I have to say the amenities within this association are unlike any of the others. When I was talking to you about it previously, I was telling you that it's almost resort-like. It looks unlike any others that we have seen. They have 7 pools. They have an indoor basketball court, which this is the only association I've ever seen like within the association, because we have indoor basketball courts within some of our recreation centers, but not within the HOA center. So they have indoor basketball. They have several tennis courts. Their fitness center looks more like a real gym than a HOA fitness center. So the amenities are just endless. And actually the community motto is that every day feels like a Saturday, because there's so much to do within the community that you don't need to leave the gates of Dominion Valley. And so this is a single family home. It's listed for $955,000. So this is, as you can see, a newer property, which is to be expected because the homes in this area were built in the early 2000s. So of course everything's going to look fairly new. Just a large single family home.
Nice open kitchen here. I like the white cabinets. Very bright. Plenty of windows too.
It goes all the way from like that $500,000 mark to 2.2, and you can see this is just under $1 million here. So price wise, there are a lot of options in the Dominion Valley area.
Dominion Valley, great place if you want to have everything in one location. Our next location, which is going to be Lake Manassas in Gainesville. So again, this is going to be towards that 66 side of Prince William County. So we have this Lake Manassas area, and as you can see, it's a little bit off of the 66 area here, which is not that bad. Since it's closer to the Dominion Valley area that we just discussed, you're still looking at about 26 miles to Loudoun. Quantico is 31 miles, and then we have Tysons, which is 28 miles. The Pentagon and Fort Belvoir are really too far.
Yeah, 35 miles each.
Yeah, from this location. Although I could see you taking a commuter bus, because there is a commuter bus that runs from here to the Pentagon or even to DC. It takes about 45 minutes to get there based on their schedule. So I guess that schedule doesn't take into account any kind of
traffic.
Well, I think it does take into consideration traffic. I don't think it takes into consideration anything happening out of the norm.
So this area actually has 71 transactions. Average sales price here is going to be $889,000. This community has both townhouses and single family homes. Once again, if you look on our map there, you can see we have another golf course because folks in Prince William love the golf.
Yeah, well, I think because Prince William kind of has so much land and it developed later after Fairfax County. Fairfax County, they were just trying to meet the demand at the time. So Prince William County had enough time to do more planned communities, planned developments.
Now, one thing I like about this community versus some of the others that we're going to talk about is this is a new community, also a gated community. So this is that other gated community I was talking about. What I like about this one is all of the homes here are rather unique and that these were custom built.
We'll take a look at one of the properties right here.
One thing I noticed, most of the homes had 3-car garages. When you look around the neighborhood, you'll notice all of the homes are on pretty large lots. I mean, the smallest lots in the neighborhood are 1/4 acre. And I did want to point out the schools in Gainesville, particularly in this area. You're going to go to Patriot High, which is the number 2 rated according to U.S. News in Prince William County. So in Gainesville, you're going to have the second highest rated elementary school system and high school, second only directly to those in Haymarket, which we just covered a minute ago.
And I think that's why so many people are kind of moving out to that Gainesville, Haymarket area, because of the access to not only amenities like golf courses, but you also have the access to great public schools, right? So a lot of people are moving here with families, and if you're moving here with the family, then you could either live in a rather large house for $1 million in Haymarket, get yourself a lot of amenities, a nice, comfortable community feel, or you get yourself still a decent sized 4-bedroom house in Fairfax County, but you don't know what kind of school system you're going to be.
All right, so next up, we're going to head the furthest out we're going to talk today, and it's going to be Dumfries. And the neighborhood we're focusing on in Dumfries is going to be Montclair.
Yeah, I like the Montclair area. We just sold a property to a buyer, a friend of ours that live in Kingstown, and they decided to move to Montclair. One of the things they like the most about the Montclair area is the golf course. The husband golfed a lot, and then the wife wanted to be in a lot of activities in this particular community.
Yeah, there are actually 3 beaches. She was from the West Coast, and so she grew up on the beach. And so they really love the idea of being close to this area because, as you can see here on the map, there are 3 beaches.
And they're solid beaches. I mean, they're not large, but they'll give you your beach
fix, right?
Yeah, your beach
You'll
fix.
get your beach fix out there. And it's full of community activities. They always have different events going on throughout the year, whether it's fireworks or movies they're putting on the beach. It's one of the more popular areas within the community to hang out. They have quite a few transactions, 238 transactions within this association. And the average price is going to be $482,000 with a low of $238 and a high of $840,000. And that's because this community is made of a mix of both townhouses and single family homes.
So if you're commuting from Montclair, as you can see, it's deep into the Prince William County area off of 95 as well. You just have to know that your commute is going to be interesting if you're going to the Pentagon up here, right? Or even to DC. Traffic, you're not going to have the DC experience living in Dumfries. You're really going to be more or less trying to kind of make the most out of your life living down in this area. And there's a lot to do down here. So.
Absolutely. It is an area much like Lake Ridge that focuses on outdoor activity. So as I said, they have the beaches there. They have a number of their 5 different playgrounds just within the association. 3 of those playgrounds are actually on the beach. And so as Abraham said a few times, they have the dog park. They have Lake Montclair, which people enjoy spending time out in that area. Again, that's the big draw of this quaint community is the outdoor activities. Then they have the things that you see in most associations, which are going to include, basketball, tennis. There's a baseball field. So there's a lot of opportunity to spend time outdoors when you're living in this area. And yes, you really don't get that DC experience. You get more of that truly suburban feel where you spend a lot of time within your community, but there's always stuff to do within the community year round. And then also another draw for the area are the schools. The schools are going to be pretty solid as far as ratings. The high school is a 5 out of 10, so kind of middle of the pack there. But then the elementary school, John F. Patty Jr. has a 7 out of 10 on great schools. So that's just another reason that people look to that area. So you can actually get a single family home under $500,000 in Montclair. And so this is a cute little cottage style home here. It is a 3-bedroom, 3-bath. Coming in at $485 was the list price.
Super cute. Nice sized backyard too. That's what our clients liked about their property they just purchased in Montclair, is that there was a nice sized backyard. Tree lined streets. They have sidewalks. I love sidewalks. This house doesn't have a big kitchen. Their house didn't have a really large kitchen as well. They are starting to do more updates to the property, so you are starting to find some renovations in the Montclair area as well. So the last stop on our list is going to be Wellington, and that's going to be in Manassas. This is going to be sort of south of 66, like I was referencing early in this conversation, where your commute time starts to become a little bit more challenging because you have to travel to the main road. And remember, the main road in Prince William County is 95 and 66. This area from Manassas is 26 miles to Fort Belvoir, so you could make a commute out of getting to Fort Belvoir. I think while the distance says 26 miles, you will be traveling through like these little veins that run through the county, which become taxing at times. And then you're only 31 miles from the Pentagon up towards this area. You're 23 miles to Quantico, which is to the south of you. Tyson's Corner is going to be also 23 miles. And then you have Loudon, which is going to be 35 miles to the north of you past this Dulles Airport area.
And so this area actually is going to have our lowest average sales price of $425,000. It's a combination of single-family townhomes and condos. It's situated close to Old Town Manassas. So it's going to be close to historic Manassas, which is going to have like all of your little shops and galleries. So if you're interested in that, it has like that Main Street vibe to it, which is really cute and quaint. And then in the surrounding areas, as far as creature comforts, there's lots of shopping options. You can see there's a Walmart, Harris Teeter, Food Lion, Giants. So this is a 5-bedroom, 4-bath. Most of the homes in the area are built in the 90s to the 2000s. So you're not even looking at older homes. So you're talking about, you know, fairly new homes in relation to what's available throughout the rest of Northern Virginia at, you know, just over $500,000, which that's really unheard of. This house was offered at $550,000. The schools are going to be the lowest rated on our list today. The highest school is rated 3 out of 10 on great schools. And so that's definitely something to take into consideration if you have young kids. But if you don't have kids, then this may actually be ideal for you because, again, you're going to get significantly more house. And also, if you don't necessarily have a family, maybe the commute isn't such a big deal for you either. Also, if you're just someone who believes that the school rating doesn't matter that much, right, and that your kids are going to make the most of their education no matter where they are, you're going to make the most of it as a parent. But I just wanted to make you aware that as far as ratings go, this is the lowest rated online by this online platform. Yeah. But that does not mean that that is how the parents feel at the school.
That's true. Excellent. I think that was it. So that's your 5 places.
So thank you so much for joining us today. If you are interested in any of the communities that we talked about, or if you have any other questions about moving here, whether it's about relocating to Prince William or just questions about relocation, make sure you check out the link down below in the description for the Perfect Home Questionnaire. You just fill that form out and one of us will reach out to schedule your home consultation, which will be a virtual meeting with either myself or Abraham, where we'll answer all your questions and hopefully get you set for your move.
We'll see you on the next show. Peace.